You ever have one of those days, you're stuck on a problem, you've been staring at your screen for hours, and you are getting absolutely nowhere, only to have the perfect, brilliant solution just pop into your head the second you step into the shower? It's a weird paradox, right? We're taught that our best work happens when we're laser focused, but so often our biggest breakthroughs hit us when we're completely zoned out. Okay, let's get into why that actually is. This quote right here, it pretty much flips the script on everything we've been told about productivity. See, your mind wandering isn't a bug in your system. It's a powerful, built-in feature. Productivity expert Chris Bailey gave it a name, scatter focus. And it's the mode where our brain does its most creative, most important work. The real trick is to stop fighting it and start using it. So if this mode is so brilliant, what's stopping us from using it all the time? Well, the problem isn't that we're just distracted. The real root cause is that our brains are chronically, constantly overstimulated. We live in this world of endless screens and pings and notifications, and our minds are just craving that next hit of new information. And if you want to know how bad it is, get a load of this number: 40 seconds. Research shows that when we're on a computer, we focus on a single task for an average of just 40 seconds before we switch to something else. And you know what? It gets worse. If you have a messaging app like Slack open, that number drops to 35 seconds. We're not multitasking. We're giving ourselves constant mental whiplash. So why do we do this to ourselves? Well, it all comes down to this powerful little thing in our brain called the novelty bias. Every single time you check your email or scroll through your feed, your brain gives you a tiny reward, a little hit of dopamine. That's the same pleasure chemical you get from eating an amazing meal. Our brains are literally wired to love distraction, which keeps us locked in that overstimulated state. This chart really nails the two modes our brain can be in. On one side, you've got the overstimulated brain. It's just chasing that next dopamine hit from a new email or notification, keeping us stuck in short-term reactive thinking. But on the other side, the calm brain, that's where the magic happens. It's idea-driven, it's looking for connections, and it's what lets us do the long-term planning and creative thinking we really want. The goal is to move from the left side of this chart over to the right. So how do we get there? The answer is, honestly, it's completely counterintuitive. To cure all that overstimulation, you don't need another productivity app. What you need is to intentionally embrace something we're taught to avoid our entire lives: boredom. It's by letting our minds get a little bit bored that we finally activate that different, more powerful mode of thinking. And that is what scatter focus is. It's the state your mind enters during simple, low-effort activities. Like taking a shower, or walking the dog, or doing the dishes. This isn't just zoning out. It's a really powerful mental state where your brain finally has the space to connect all the random ideas that have been swirling around in your head. This is the birthplace of all your best shower epiphanies. It's a good question, isn't it? When we just let our minds drift, where do they actually travel? You'd probably think we just get lost in random thoughts about, I don't know, what to have for dinner. But researchers have actually mapped it, and the results are pretty fascinating. So it turns out when our minds wander, we only spend about 12% of the time thinking about the past and about 28% thinking about what's happening right now. But look at that huge slice of the pie. For almost half the time, a whopping 48%, our wandering mind is actually thinking about and planning for the future. This is literally our brain's default setting for planning. It's the reason you can mentally walk through your entire next day while you're in a shower, or solve a tricky problem for tomorrow's meeting while you're out on a walk. When you give your brain some breathing room, it doesn't just switch off. It gets to work on your future. Okay, so this is all great in theory, but how do we actually make it happen in our busy lives? Let's talk about a super simple ritual you can start using today to tap into the power of scatter focus whenever you want. Chris Bailey, the researcher who came up with this, tells this great story about how he decided to take up knitting. I know, knitting. But it's a simple, repetitive task that doesn't demand his full attention and that lets his mind wander productively. He even keeps a notepad nearby to jot down all the ideas that pop up. So the big question for you is, what is your knitting? What's that simple activity that lets your mind just roam free? And hey, if knitting's not your thing, don't worry. Here are some classic examples. It could be taking that long shower or going for a walk without a podcast or music. It could be doing chores like washing the dishes or gardening. The key is it has to be a light, almost automatic task that lets your mind disconnect. Even just waiting in line without immediately reaching for your phone can be a powerful little moment of scatter focus. Now, to really make this a habit, you can build a simple disconnection ritual. So, step 1, just choose a time every day to go completely offline. Maybe it's from 8 p.m. to 8 a.m. Step 2, disconnect. Everything. Turn the Wi-Fi off on your phone, put it on silent, the whole deal. And step 3, just reconnect with the world around you. Let your mind get bored. Let it wander. That's how you create the space for those amazing insights to show. So what is the big payoff here? It's a fundamental shift in how we think about our attention and our time. Instead of trying to cram more and more focus into our days, we need to start intentionally creating space. It means we can literally schedule moments for our own genius to show up. This quote really gets to the heart of it all. Think about it. If we spend all our time in a constant state of distraction and overstimulation, we end up living a distracted, overwhelming life. But if we intentionally make space for a calmer mind, we don't just become more creative, we end up living a better, more intentional life. So here it is, the bottom line. Stop feeling guilty about daydreaming or doing nothing. That downtime isn't laziness, it's a strategic weapon for your brain. You can actually schedule boredom into your day to solve your biggest problems and unlock your best ideas. It's time to start thinking of boredom as a trigger for genius. And that brings us to the final thought. After all this, there's really only one question left. It's not if you should make space for your mind to wander, but when. When are you going to schedule your next great idea?